Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan. That's Izzy Gutierrez. And Izzy, you know I love a game. I love a new game. There's something about a new game. The smell maybe comes out of the wrapper like, we haven't played this one before. So we got a new game for you. No, that's not a new game. That's just an old game repurposed and renamed with some other stuff. No, this is a new game. And we're calling this one Statline Shuffle. I kind of feel like I need some doo-wop group to sing Statline Shuffle, Statline Shuffle. Anyway, Statline Shuffle, we're going to be showing a random stat line from the past few nights of games. We'll have to guess which player put up said stat line. We'll get some hints as we go along if we're stumped. Yeah, there you go. He's doing a Statline Shuffle. All right, let's get it started. Show me the first set of numbers. 38 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 14 of 23 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. And we got some silhouettes on the screen here too. I don't even know if these are the actual silhouettes. Izzy, I have some guesses. You want to go first?
Yeah. I have 2 thoughts. They're both similar positions because I know Kawhi Leonard had a big game recently, but I don't know if he had that much activity from 3. The other guy was Aaron Gordon had a big game, right? When Joker was out. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that might be it because I remember thinking to myself, he hit 4 threes. Is that silhouette a tell? Is the silhouette a tell?
I think if the silhouette is a tell, I'm going to say Carl Herrera and he's being guarded by Matt Maloney. That's my first guess. They're telling me in the chat. They're telling me in the chat that that's wrong. It's not Carl Herrera. Yeah. Okay. So let's get a hint here. I don't think it's Aaron Gordon. 6 rebounds seems low. Plays in the West. Okay. So that's in true. The right. You know what? I like your Kawhi Leonard one. 3 assists seems like a lot for Kawhi Leonard though.
Like a lot for Kawhi? That also does, if the silhouette is true, I don't know if that's Kawhi.
All right. So given that it's narrowed it down to the Western Conference, but all your guesses were from the West, that kind of you know what? Let me go. I'm going to say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay, that's not it. All right, give me a division. It's the second hint. We get 3 total hints. Second hint is the second hint is the playoff position. Okay,
so that means top 6, so not play.
Top 6, yes.
Still holds for Aaron Gordon.
So we got Oklahoma City. Oh, could it be Jalen Williams? Maybe. That's not my guess. I'm just throwing it out there.
I would say no because he hasn't played in the last couple of games, and this is the last 2 nights, I believe, was what these stat lines are from.
Is it someone from Houston?
Could be Şengün, except I don't think he was shooting that threes like that.
No, 4 or 6 from 3. I don't
give us another hit. Former NBA champ, but not okay. But I'm right. It's Aaron Gordon.
All right,
Aaron Gordon never won the dunk contest.
It is Aaron Gordon. 6 rebounds? 6 rebounds?
He had to do all the shooting. I mean, he couldn't do all the rebounding
wasn't playing. You got 6 rebounds? The
Andre
Warriors
Jordan's
are tiny. Shout out to Beef Stew. Tiny.
That, by the way, is the type of game that makes me say, yeah, the Nuggets can turn it on in the playoffs because they haven't had that guy pretty much the whole season. Like those numbers haven't had it.
The calf injury, what was the thing that kept him out for most of the year?
Mm-hmm. It was a calf.
This is he did this also with no Jamal Murray either on the game. But also, to be fair, Steph Curry didn't play either. Let's be clear on that one. So what do you think makes Aaron Gordon so special and so important to the Nuggets?
I just think it's a fit thing. Like he is like they have the other elements, right? So if imagine Nikola Jokic is just the orchestrator, right? And he has got all his players around him. The only guy that really gives him that vertical threat is Aaron Gordon. And so I think every time I watch him play, I'm like, he's got to be in today's game the perfect role player when you consider, who he's playing with.
Yeah. Couple of things. Number one, Steph did play in that game. I misspoke. He sat out the game against the Bucks. Number 2, I just want to point out he's being guarded by Quentin Post right there. Silhouette. I nailed the ethnicity at least. Matt Maloney. Yeah. That's a
little misleading. How low is Quentin Post here on this? Is he on his knees defensively? Because that's a 7-footer and he's defending and he looks like he's about at his shoulder. Looks kind of low.
That's why you got cooked, kid. All right. What's next? What's the next stat line? Oh, I know this one. You don't need to tell me twice. 3 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks, 0 for 5 from 3, 5 fouls in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a quintessential Draymond Green stat line.
Yes. I was just going to offer maybe Jaren Jackson Jr., but no, he doesn't have a 3-point game. That's classic Draymond.
Yeah. Classic Draymond. And by the way, this is my favorite part about it. The only silhouette they had was of him guarding someone. They couldn't even have him with the ball. That's how little we have here.
Because you can't tell from the silhouette that he's going to miss the 3. So you got to go with defensive play.
Well,
look, Draymond's like, I don't know if he's doing it or if the betting folks are doing it, but he's shooting up the defensive player of the year projections. Yep. Like he's now, I think, maybe second behind Evan Mobley. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if it's just like, hey, late in the game, reputation thing. Everybody was like, oh, Victor Wembanyama's going to get it. Okay, now he's not. What do we do now? Because I remember initially there were people talking up Bam as finally getting his depoy. And I was like, have you guys seen what the Miami Heat have been doing? That's not going to happen.
But see, that's the point, right? The point about all these conversations is we're not talking about them and their impact. We're talking about what their team is doing. So Bam is out of it, not because Bam is a worse defender or fell off or isn't that good, but because his team fell off and isn't doing good. Draymond is in it not because he got better defensively, but because his team got better. He's been excellent the whole time, the whole season, but his team got back in the conversation. So that's why he's back in the conversation. He's got a quote here, by the way. He said, I look around the league and I don't see many players impacting the game on the defensive end the way I do. So 1,000,000% I have a case to win depoy, and I will continue to build that case for the next 13 games. Tonight was a prime example of that. I think he's 100% accurate. He's not saying he says, I have a case and I will continue to build that case. And he's right when he says there aren't too many players. I've said it a million times, Izzy.
Who's had a great case just like that over the years? Rudy Gobert, and he keeps winning it. And then
no. Because again, this is my thing. Name the guys who can guard 1 through 5 legitimately. Not many of them. It's him. It's Bam. It's LeBron when he feels like it. But obviously, we see that can kill him. Apparently, if he does it.
Evan Mobley can do that.
Evan Mobley is getting there. I would say Victor Wembanyama is also getting there. But it's like that's it. Ben Simmons once upon a time. That's it, man. Everyone else is a specialist. I guard 2s and 3s. I got 1s and 2s. I got 4s and 5s. And then when you ask them to guard anything outside of that, they lose that. Jimmy Butler, I would put also there as someone who can do it. So
it is pretty phenomenal, though, that like how long Draymond has been doing this. Like came out the box, like just blowing up plays, playing for Mark Jackson, and now the beard's all gone. Amin Elhassan on him, and he's still blowing up defensively. And just if he wins it, it would be more of a career, reward, I think, than deserving. But like you said, there's nobody standing out anymore.
Well, I know we got to get to other stat lines, but I want to ask you this, Izzy. When you look back and you think back, I think both these guys have completed enough of a resume. Or all 3 of these guys have completed enough of a resume. Rank these guys as far as defensive players. Not by depoys, but like who is the better defensive player in this era? Draymond Green, Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo.
Ooh, I thought you were going to throw Kawhi Leonard in there because that's another great option. But for those 3, no, it's Draymond Green. It's the most direct impact for defense equals winning. And you can see it. It's not like you have to, scratch your head and be like, I don't understand how he's doing this. You can absolutely see it.
The only person I've ever seen shut down Jokic. He's shut down the Joker. And people forget that in that 22 championship, part of that was him saying, I'm taking that chess piece off the board. All right. What's the next stat line we have? We got 46 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 8 of 14 from 3-point range. Clearly, this is Baylor, what's his face, from the Celtics the other night. Yes? It's not him? Oh, wow. It felt like, I know the Nets felt like that because 1 minute they're up in the second half of this game, and the next minute, who is this guy? Did he even make their scouting board?
This one's tough. I feel like I would remember this 46 and 13. I want to say it's a big guy, but then you see the 8 3-pointers
from 3.
So I mean,
8 of 14?
Can we get a hint?
Let's get a hint. It looks like Nick Young, by the way, by the silhouette.
It does. It does kind of look like Nick Young.
He plays in the East.
I mean, that really doesn't really help that much.
Plays in the East. Oh, and so maybe it's a Celtic. Maybe it's a Celtic.
Oh no, the Great Whites, Peyton Pritchard and Derek White. They had, I don't think either of them had 46, and they didn't have 13 rebounds with it. And it wasn't in the last couple of games. I think we need another hint.
Yeah. Wow, damn. All right. Is it Quentin Grimes? I have a little bit of a tingle in there. It's Quentin Grimes is my answer. Oh, I got it right. Oh yeah. Wow. How about that?
Is that what a hint is? Just a little flash of the answer.
Yeah. Quentin Grimes.
I remember this game now.
Look, when the Mavericks traded away Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin, I thought this was a good deal for the Mavericks because I was under several auspices. Auspice number one, everyone wasn't going to die immediately in Dallas. Auspice number two, specifically, like while everyone's alive, Caleb Martin would also be alive to help them win games in the here and now. It's easy to say, oh my God, they messed up. But there's two things everyone forgets. Number one, Quentin Grimes, this opportunity to shoot as much as you want would never have happened in Dallas unless everyone got hurt. And clearly that was never going to happen, right? Number two, and this one is important. He's a restricted free agent at the end of this year. Caleb Martin's under contract for the next couple of years. So Quentin Grimes, Philly, congratulations. Now you got to pay him or see him leave and get someone else to get him paid.
I mean, that's quite the assessment, like down the road, of course, or whatever. But congrats to Quentin Grimes, man. Like that dude is putting up numbers all of a sudden. Like, I don't know if he can fit into a winning team. I think that might be sort of the issue with him, but that is a hell of a game.
This is what you do when you're going into restricted free agency, ladies and gentlemen, or free agency in general. This is what you do. You make everybody go like, oh, like, okay. Right, Jeremy Lin parlayed like 2 weeks of good games and a cover story written by Pablo Torre into $50 million. Right, so like Quentin Grimes, that's what you need to do. You need to go on Pablo's show. Your GM already went on there, Daryl Morey. So just go on there and say, hey,
Pablo's AI a big Philly guy.
Yeah, AI says I'm worth like a good 80-90 mil.
It reminds me of, do you remember Willie Burton just randomly dropping 55 points in the NBA? Yes. Like Willie Burton.
Miami Heat legend, Willie Burton. All right. What's the next stat line we got? Oh, look, this guy's getting hacked in the offense.
33 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 5. That doesn't seem that spectacular. We should start off with a hint, right? Because I mean, unless you've got this off the top of your head, I got nothing.
I'm looking at the silhouettes, and I'm gonna
we're going silhouettes.
I'm gonna go David Wingate. David Wingate, and he's being guarded by Chris Childs. No, okay, all right.
He's guarded by Willie Burton.
Willie Burton. Give us a hint. He plays in the West. Okay. David Wingate played in the West. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Plays in the West. Had 33, 7, 4, 5, and 6 threes. Could it be Devin Booker? No.
Oh. I think I know who this is. I think we might have. It's Kawhi Leonard. You can tell by the rose in his head. For sure. You see? Confirmed by the silhouette there. Night. I knew he had a good game. 5 for 6 from 3 was a little surprising there. Yep. He led the Clippers. They won 132 to 119 over Cleveland Cavaliers.
By the way, the next hint that they were going to give us, had you not guessed Kawhi Leonard, was big old hands. Big old hands. Yo, I watched this game last night, and yes, Kawhi was magnificent and Harden was great. But let me tell you something, man. Something's happened to Ivica Zubac. Because this dude has turned into Shaq. Like, he did it against the Miami Heat, and we're like, okay, you're going up against Kel'el Ware, who's like 12 years old, and it may not be a little green behind the ears. But then he went up against Mobley and Jared Allen last night. And dude, I was like, what am I watching here? They were throwing lobs. He would just he'd throw it anywhere around here. He catching, pivot, dunking all over everybody. He was unstoppable, Izzy.
He's had some monster games. Like, was it yesterday? 28 and 20. I'm just going to read just some games that he's had recently. 28 and 20, 17 and 14, 26 and 14, 22 and 14. I mean, he's been incredible. 27 and 16 against the Lakers. Like, that guy's been playing like a beast.
Who's most improved this year? Like, who are the people talk about? Pritchard, maybe not. Pritchard's more sixth man of the year. I know some people.
Man of the year. There was Cade Cunningham, where people were discussing most improved. This is, by the way, there's no other question that is like sitting in front of a jukebox and figuring out your favorite song than who's most improved player this year. It doesn't matter what time of the year you ask me that. I'm like, I forgot everybody's name.
I get why Cade Cunningham might be running away with the odds according to the DraftKings Sportsbook. But I'm going to tell you this. Cade Cunningham is healthy and he's playing with decent players. That's it. Zubac is doing shit that we never imagined he'd be doing. Like, this dude is next level right now. As far as, by the way, for someone who we thought we kind of knew who you are. To me, I don't know about you, Izzy, but when we're talking about most improved, to me, it's always like the guy, like, I know who he is. I get it. He's a good, serviceable little so-and-so, a little rascal, like kind of tussle his hair. And then you get to show me something that I didn't know you could do. And Zubac is up there. See, Dyson Daniels, Tyler
Dyson
Hill,
Daniels is the guy. I like Dyson Daniels.
That's a good one, I guess. But again, I feel like he was a great defensive player in New Orleans, and he's just getting more opportunities in, like, what's he doing in Atlanta that you never saw him doing?
I mean, stealing everything from the opponents.
He did that.
He might be like, but did he? Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he got much of an opportunity in New Orleans, but
that's my point.
I'm with you.
It's opportunity. Okay. It's not driven by him being a better player. All right. What do we have next? 38 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 1 of 11 from 3, -7. I know
so it's a good player on a bad team, maybe?
Yeah, someone who's allowed to shoot that many times, right? I know who he's being guarded by. That's definitely Tom Chambers. I'd know that mullet anywhere.
I thought you were going to say Kelly Olynyk. No, I think I know who this is, actually. It's not Steph. Steph didn't have a 1 for 11 game recently. No. If you think about the guys that are just putting up a bunch of threes these days, Anthony Edwards is a guy who gets away with the 1 for 11 game. Yep. Look at that. Yeah. And that is not Kelly Olynyk.
Wow. And it's not Tom Chambers either.
Are they surprising you? Are you surprised that they're fighting for the 6th seed? Because it feels like a couple of months ago, we all just settled in. All right, T-Wolves or Timberwolves, probably a play-in team.
No, not surprised because I look at who they're beating. Like they had a pretty tender part of the schedule, if you will. And the good news for the T-Wolves is they have the 3rd easiest schedule the rest of the way, Izzy. They play the Jazz. They play the Pelicans twice. They play the Nets twice, although the Nets, sometimes that's a hard game. They play the Sixers once, and they play the Suns once. They've got the easier path the rest of the way versus Golden State, who have some easy games, but also a bunch of hard games left.
I got this sort of lingering pet peeve when it comes to Anthony Edwards. Is first of all, they say he's Dwayne Wade with a 3-pointer. If he was Dwayne Wade with a 3-pointer, he'd already be MVP probably twice. Okay. Wow. He's not Dwayne Wade with a 3-pointer, but I'm a little upset that he's taking this many threes. Like, I know the math is what it is, and I know he seems to be in a better rhythm when he takes a lot of them, 1 for 11 notwithstanding. I think he needs to take advantage of his athleticism while he still has it and get to the foul line, get to the rim, and stop taking so many threes.
There's an old clip of Michael Jordan from like the 92 finals. Remember the game where he hit like 6 threes and a half? And like, this is in between, game 2 and game 3 or whatever. And he says, I don't, even though it was a great game, I don't like it because I think I'm at my best when I'm in an attacking mentality, getting to the rim and getting to the free throw line. And when I make threes, it makes me more complacent on that perimeter shot, and it takes me away from the thing that I'm actually best at.
Yep.
It's a great quote, and I think it's an apt quote. Also, Michael Jordan, you weren't that great a 3-point shooter. So yeah, I would want you attacking because that was clearly a fluke game versus some of these other guys who are incredible at it. But yes, I agree that Anthony Edwards needs to find the balance in the same way that Steph Curry finds the balance. I think Steph Curry shoots a lot of threes, but you know what else he does? He goes to the rim a lot.
Yep. I think, just in terms of like a natural, like IQ basketball player, like don't start making the Dwayne Wade comparisons until you actually see Dwayne Wade results.
We get it. Wade County, they have a street named after him, all that stuff. All right, next we've got Iciest play and prop a slot.
Welcome to Oddball. It's time for the Iciest play of the week. If you felt to draft, that's what that was. Man, I still can't get over how much that is exactly what my face looks like when I'm cold.
Mine too. I'm smug when I'm cold.
Yeah, jerk. So the iciest play of the week came from a Boston Celtic, and not the one you'd think, or maybe exactly the one you would think. Baylor Scheierman scored 20 points off the bench to beat the Nets. He went 6 for 7 from 3-point range in 16 minutes. I mean, he had this one that Celtics beat the Nets 104-96 without Jason Tatum, without Jaylen Brown. They needed this guy here. He had one play where he ended up blowing a kiss to the other bench, and he said what happened is somebody said hell nah as he was shooting, and it went in. And I haven't actually kept the statistics on this, but I'm pretty sure I have never made a shot in my life when somebody has yelled hell nah while the ball's in the air.
It's such a
I've never got the satisfaction.
It's such a Hooper thing, especially NBA benches talk so much during the game. Anytime you see guys get into it with the bench or point at the bench, or whatever, they didn't just feel like doing that out of the blue. It's because someone was talking loudly. And so it's fitting that he lit their ass up. They were up in that game. The Nets were up in that game. Like I said, I was imagining the Nets coming home. I was like, what happened? We lost to the Celtics. Well, they're really good. They're defending champs. Tatum and Brown are great. Well, Tatum and Brown didn't play. Oh, well, look, Porzingis can be a handful. Yeah, it wasn't him either. Was Derek White? He was
coming into his own, that guy.
Yeah, no. Peyton Pritchard. He's going to win 6th man of the year, man. Like, no, it wasn't Peyton Pritchard. Al Horford? Drew Holiday? Like, Stan Hauser? Was a Luke Cornett lob going like that? And I was like, it was Baylor Scheierman. Like, who the is Baylor Scheierman?
Did you lose to the Celtics in the 50s? Who is Baylor Scheierman?
Well, here's the interesting thing. I want to put up a side-by-side. These are both Baylor Scheierman. This one is from him at Creighton, and this one is him now, right? Boy. See, at Creighton, this screams, I played on an AAU team with a bunch of black kids. My favorite artist is Kodak Black, and, like my quotable in the yearbook is picture me rolling or something like that. He's got an edge up and everything. He goes to Black Barbershop, gets to Boston, couple of months in. What's he got? He's got a mob head. He looks like he's from Mumford & Sons. Arctic Monkeys is his favorite band. And you would have never known that he knew every single word to TV off or whatever. I don't know. I ran out of new music references right there. So
I don't know if I agree with you on the description of the Scheierman on the left, but there's definitely a code switch happening here. Like, this is not the same human being.
Izzy, really quick. How good do you think the Celtics all-white lineup would do? So that's Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Baylor Scheierman, Kristaps Porzingis, and Luke Cornett.
Are we just playing against other all-white lineups? I think they'd be fine. I think can Derek White come off the bench? Because then they're winning it all.
That was the iciest play of the week. It's presented by Jägermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all, you bums. Jägermeister, damn, that's cold. For more, visit Jägermeister.com. Drink responsibly. All right, now it's time for Prop a Slot. Prop Slots are presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Hell yeah.
All right. You know the rules. The slot machine generates real DraftKings prop bets. We get to pick from tonight's games. If we get to the third spin, then we have to take that one. If we don't have any time for that, then we'll go ahead and take a parlay of the remaining 3. All right. Here we go. First spin. Got faces here. Is Kyrie Irving's face still on this thing? I'll take all unders on him. It is. Oh, it's Josh Hart, which an unnamed production staff member said is the most overrated player in the NBA, which I took offense to. Josh Hart over 13.5 points. That's minus 110 on a DraftKings Sportsbook. It's Knicks at Spurs tonight. Izzy.
Iggy. I don't love this one. I think, the Spurs are probably going to allow a bunch of points. I don't think the Knicks are going to have to work that hard. I don't think they're going to go to Cat. They're going to go to Bridges. I don't know if Josh Hart's necessarily going to get his numbers.
I think he is, but I'll take the other side. I think for sure the Spurs, they're terrible. Everyone's gone. What, Harrison Barnes going to stop them? It's the Joker.
Jokic. Under 9.5
assists.
They're at the Lakers. He's averaging 10.3 assists per game. I don't know. I think we got to spin it again.
Yeah. I don't like the under. They're playing the Lakers, and LeBron still isn't playing, and it's a Super Bowl, so they got to let them know, hey, your Super Bowl ain't All
right. Luka Doncic over 31.5. I think we're going to have to sit on this one.
Absolutely. The Lakers are playing against the Nuggets. The Nuggets have shown one thing and one thing only beyond the ability to lose to the Wizards. They don't guard anybody. And
Luka's
there's no
our
LeBron.
slot.
Yep. We ran out of time.